Early in the war, Union forces decided that Fort Macon was a worthy prize. The fort was designed to defend against attacks from the sea, not from the land. Union commanders took advantage of Macon's vulnerability and sent troops to entrench into the sand dunes and place rifled guns on the land side of the fort. However, they too had their own set of disadvantages to overcome.
As it turned out, the Confederates burned the railroad bridge over the Newport River between here and New Bern. And until that bridge was repaired, the Union forces couldn't get their baggage and equipment down here. So that was a big setback. They were living in tents. It was in April, it was springtime, it was rainy, it was yucky, it was disgusting, a lot of wind, and they were suffering as a result of it. They had a great deal of trouble ferrying over heavy cannons and ammunition and stuff because the sound, Bogue Sound, which they had to go across, was very shallow. They could only go across at dead high tide. And then once they got over on the island side, they had extensive areas of marshland that they had to drag these massive cannons through.
By the spring of 1862, the Confederates had considerable reason to worry.
April 9th, 1862. Dear Mother, we are entirely surrounded by the Yankees. They are in possession of Beaufort, Moorhead, and all the country around Fort Macon. We have been expecting for some time to be attacked, but if they do not attack us in a few weeks, I don't think they will attack us at all, as I think they will attempt to starve us out, which will take some time. I send this letter by Lieutenant Cicero S. Primrose, who intends to go down in the coast to Wilmington in a small boat. He runs great risk in doing so, as he has to pass one of the enemy ships, which lay very close inshore. But as he is going to leave here in the night, he may be able to pass the Yankee ship without being seen. Give my love to all my relations and friends. I am very well.
The formal siege of Fort Macon began on the one-year anniversary of the firing on Fort Sumter and the beginning of the war. After having been surrounded, capture was only a matter of time.
There was no ground assault against Fort Macon. The battle here was strictly an artillery bombardment at long range.
Union ships did fire on the fort, but were driven off in fairly short order. The Union troops dug into the sand dunes, however, were able to use the rifled artillery to great effect.
They were able to shoot through the walls of the fort. By 4:30 in the afternoon, the damage was very severe. The fort had been hit almost 600 times, and the walls were cracking, and one of the fort's gunpowder magazines was endangered. So the Confederates were faced with a very dismal prospect. They're about to be blown up by their own gunpowder. What could you do? Give up or blow up. And obviously they surrendered. They had to, there was no choice.
On April 26th, Union troops became the new occupants of Fort Macon. They quickly found conditions at the fort to be much the same as that described by the Confederates.
We have to get up at sunrise and drill from 6:30 to 7:30, from 10 to 11 in artillery, and from 4 to 5 in the afternoon with dress parade at 6. We have to go on at night for 2 hours, and then sit up 2 hours before we can go to sleep. Then we get to sleep what time we can in 2 hours, then go on guard. In the afternoon, we have to patrol the island up 5 or 6 miles and get back at retreat.
When venturing outside the fort, the biggest danger was snakes.
When Ira and I went on patrol, we killed 2 snakes. One of them an adder. The other one was a large black snake. The boys killed 12 copperheads. The duty is hard, but we live better than we ever did before. We have soft bread 9 days out of 10, and it's tip-top bread, baked here in the fort, and we get it warm.
Fort Macon's fall helped to mark the end of brick and masonry forts, made obsolete by the use of rifled weapons which could breach their walls. Nothing like Fort Macon was ever built again, and this intriguing place remains a window into a time gone by.